So way back around 4, 6 years when I actually got serious about photography, my very first lens was a 35 lens, focal length, and that focal length was something I started with and I enjoyed. But over the years, I've drifted to other focal length, and especially the 85, and I shoot more of portrait. But recently, I've been missing the 35, and today I have it with me, the Sony 35 1.8, and I will be reviewing this lens today. I will be moving between the studio and the outdoor to show you a little bit of what this lens can do. Today we're going to look at the overall performance of this lens, the image quality, how this lens handles, also the build quality, and my final overall verdict on this lens. Should you get the lens, I will be helping you to make that decision today. So guys, why don't you eat me on the other side of the intro? Let's go. So here we have it. So it's been but here we have it. This is the 35. This is the 35 1.8. It was my best focal length when I started photography, and because it just allows you, it's an environmental portrait lens. And so we have to see what is in the box. So we have to see what is in the box. So I'm just gonna put that there, and so that's all we have in there. So we have the manual there as usual. We've got all this, and then we've got the camera itself. As you guys can see, in this section I'm going to talk about the specs. So I'm going to talk first of all about the build quality. I'm going to talk about the features of the lens, some of the features on the body of the lens itself, and I'm going to talk about the picture quality, and then I'll talk about vignetting and distortion as well. So the first thing is the build quality. As you guys can see, the lens itself is, it feels plasticky in the hand. However, it feels, very, very compact and so small. It's compared to my 55 1.8 as well. So this lens can actually go inside your pocket, and I love that, because this lens is designed for portrait, for street photographers, for wedding photographers, for lifestyle, and for editorial, and even for portrait. And so for you to be able to put this lens inside your pocket and go anywhere, and even if it's on your camera, people wouldn't know whether you're a pro photographer or not. And so I think that is great. However, like I say, it feels plasticky, and so you have to be very gentle with this lens. It will get easily scratched and things like that. So the other thing I want to talk about next, which is the features on this lens, is, as you guys can see how there, we've got the focus hold button right there. That is for you to set a custom button for your focus. And that will allow you to, be able to take better pictures, to be able to lock onto your object and take those photos. So you will have to assign that. The second one is the F1 buttons out there. So you can either switch it to either manual or autofocus. So which one you prefer? So it's good to have, looking at the price of this lens, which is, around, from where I bought it for, was around 420 something. So I think, but on Amazon, I think it's around 600 plus, which is a lot. Some people say it's a lot for a 35 1.8. But look, I kind of, because I bought it a lot cheaper, and I feel, for what it does, I think it's a great lens. So most of the time you don't see these two features on these kind of like maybe mid-range lenses, but for having those two features, I think it's a great addition to this lens, and it makes it more, looks much better, that better feel as well. So, and also having this wood, which I like to use especially when the sun is out and stuff like that, I think it's a great addition as well. Yeah, so I think those things. So the next thing obviously I want to talk about is obviously the picture, the quality on this lens, right? As you guys can see on your screen, some of the pictures that I've taken with this lens, just going out, pairing this lens with my Godox AD400 Pro that I did the review the other day. If you haven't seen that review of the Godox AD400 Pro, why don't you head over to the video on my YouTube and watch it. So I'm pairing both of them together. I went out and I did this little photo shoot just to test out this lens, and just to show you guys how it performs. And as you guys can see, these are good photos, and some of these photos I've not edited them at all. They're straight from the camera, and they look good, they look nice, and although there's a little bit of vignetting and distortion on this lens overall at 1.8, however, these are easily correct. You can easily correct this inside Lightroom, so I don't see any issue with this. And sometimes even vignetting is good sometimes, right? To have that within your image is not bad sometimes. But so I think it's well controlled at this one. Shooting it, whichever way you're using it, even in low light, the focusing system is good, it's focusing well. And the other thing I like about it also, in terms of when you're using it for video, it's a lot quiet. There's no focus breathing really on this lens, which is fantastic. And looking at the price, so as part of the review, I decided to come out here. It's very cold out here, you guys can see, to just do the testing, especially for the video side of this review. With this lens, I just wanted to see the eye autofocus, how it keeps up in terms of the video. So what I'll be doing is I will kind of move in and move out and see and go down. I guess the autofocus will work perfectly, but I can't see what I'm recording right now because I don't have any monitor on top of the camera. But overall, I've tested this lens earlier on with the Sony a7R III and also with the same R4. And what I noticed was this: the autofocus obviously on the camera is good, so it helps the lens as well to be able to, and they both have image body stabilization, and the autofocus system in terms of the video, it looks really great. It's very quick and snappy, and I think this is good. The video lovers the video makers are gonna love this lens for the autofocus, because in video, the autofocus, you want a lens that is very reliable in terms of the autofocus. This lens was released last year, so inside of this lens it's got one of the newest system of the Sony system, and so it's gonna make this lens to be even much better. I'm very satisfied with what I've seen in terms of the lens performance, overall performance of this lens in terms of video, and that's why we are here to just test out the video quality from this lens. Right now, what I'll be doing right now is to give in for each one of those areas that I've talked on earlier on, I will be giving them awarding them a mark overall. So over 5, I will go for the build quality first. In terms of the build quality, I would say that I will give it 4/5. Now, although this lens is plasticky, however, I would say that this lens, is very compact, it's very small, which I love so much. It could go inside my pocket. If you go somewhere, people wouldn't notice that you're probably a pro photographer. For me, that is a huge plus. So I would love to have this lens. On the other side, it also has this focus hold button that I love on the lens itself, which is great, and I kind of love that as well. So for me, overall, I will give it 4/5. In terms of the picture quality, this lens also performs wonderfully well. You know, it autofocus and stills as well perfectly. So I think overall, in terms of the autofocus system, it works well. In terms of the picture quality, it's not the sharpest in the world, but this lens is also sharp. I'm using it currently on the Sony a7R4, and you know, the picture quality that is coming out of this lens, I'm very, very impressed with it. So again, I'll give it 4/5. Now, in terms of the image character from this lens, I think this lens is also great. It gives that rendering of a good 35 1.8 lens. You know, if you move closer to your object, it gives you some form of you know, smooth bokeh that is very, very good. There's less of, you know, vignetting or color fringing, which is additional plus on this lens. So in terms of image quality, I'll say I'll give it 4/5 as well. For me, overall, if I want to award a mark for this lens, for its performance, for its build quality, for handling, overall, I would say I'll give this lens a 4/5. Now, considering I'm adding the price, this lens, I bought it less than £500 for the price. On the price range, you have the Sony 1.4, which will cost you 1,500. So for the price, and with all the quality you have on this lens, I think this is a buy. And if you ask me, should you buy this lens, or yes or no, I will say yes. I will recommend this lens for, if you a content creator, this lens will be good for you in terms of creating your content. 35 mm is a good focal lens for you to record your videos. For video shooters, I think this is, you don't have any focus breathing. If any at all, it's going to be very, very little one. So I think for video lovers, you're going to really, really love this lens. For photographers, I think this is 35 is also a very good lens for, you know, for street, if you're doing street photography, for events, for weddings, you know, talk about for portrait, this lens, or for any other thing, this lens will be great. So overall, I would recommend this lens for anyone that wants to buy this lens. So overall, guys, this is my review of the Sony 35 1.8. I hope you guys enjoyed my review today. If you do, why don't you smash that like button for me? Guess what? When you do smash that like button, the YouTube algorithm will recommend my video to a wider range of people to watch the video as well. Now, thank you for joining me on this video. Please leave a comment for me in the comment below to let me know how I can improve. And also, if you guys would like to see more of reviews like this, do let me know in the comment below as well. Until I see you guys in my next video, I'll say keep safe and bye bye.
How do we get this low? You come over and we start a fight. Never know who's wrong or right. Feel nothing when you go. I know it's not intelligent, drinking for the hell of it, but that's irrelevant now. We should talk about us. How come we're holding on? Cause really I don't see the benefits now. When you've broken my trust, so I just wonder, why do I fall back to you? Really nothing I can do about it. Why do I fall back to you?